Hi, welcome to the 11th video in this video series showing how I'm building this pool. In the last video we fitted the skimmer and finished off the walls. In this video we're going to get the shuttering done to build up the concrete on top of the walls and also get the bracing done ready for concrete. Enjoy!
So we're starting off with some vacuuming of all of the little ICF bits and pieces that were cut and ended up in the cavity of the ICF. First thing that I need to do with regards to the ICF and getting it ready for concrete is to secure the base to the floor. So to secure the base to the floor, so I made up some concrete like L pieces and I secured them to the floor with some 2 concrete bolts in each piece, and then I secured the rear part of the L with some self-tapping screws into the furrowing strips on the base of the ICF. And I did that on the first corner, took a while, did it on the second corner, much quicker, and then I did the final 2 corners much quicker again. So yeah, you live and learn. So yeah, got those last 2 corners, so this will prevent the corners of the ICF from lifting when the concrete gets poured into it. Obviously it started to rain, so I had to make a little temporary shelter to put all the stuff underneath whilst the rain stops. Then I put a string line down the wall at the base to make sure that the walls were completely straight. Did that down both sides, and that's getting ready for the next part, which is the initial construction of that ICF bracing. So I need to put vertical braces every about 1.2-ish meters down the length and width of the pool away from the corner. And I need to also fix the pool walls down the length and the width to the floor. So I cut some little wooden blocks, which you can see there going in, and I bolted those wooden blocks to the floor with a couple more concrete screws, and then I cut all of the vertical bracing, which is what you can see is happening there, cutting all of the 2x4 vertical braces that will go vertically up the walls every 1.2 meters, and then started fixing those to the little blocks that were bolted to the floor. And then I also used self-tapping screws to screw them to all 3 courses, and this will tie all of those courses together, stop them from separating, not that they will. And yeah, the reason I'm doing this is so that I can move on to the next part, which is to install some right angle pieces to that bracing to stop the walls from leaning in. Had to then bolt a nice bit of 2x4 to the floor right the way along, and this will be the anchor point for all of those vertical braces that are against the wall. So that's the first brace going in just there.
Right, so the plan today was to finish off all of the bracing. However, I've decided I'm going to form the ledge out of ICF to make the most of the concrete pour, so that the ledge and the walls are one monolith of concrete. So yeah, I'm going to use 1.5 courses of ICF for the ledge, and that's what I'm going to do now, is to change that bracing at the end there that you can see on the far end to form, so that it enables me to put the ledge in. So yeah, that's what's next. Next up is I'm going to place the ICF blocks along here to create the ledge, which is going to come to about this height. So there's a 50 centimeter height difference between the water, a 45 to 50 centimeter height difference between the water line and the top of the ledge. And the ledge is going to be about 400 in depth. So yeah, I'll provide a bit more info on the steps and the ledge as I do a bit more on it.
So to form the ledge, I used a full course of ICF, which is 457 in height, and then I got another piece that I had left over, and I cut that in half horizontally and placed that on top, and I pretty much only had a tiny bit left over, so there was next to no waste during this build for the walls and the ledge, which was brilliant.
So I've just put a course and a half of Nudura, just test fitted here to see what it will be like, just to gauge the height, and it feels alright sitting on there. So I'm going to take it back out. I'm going to seal the inside edge with some glue or some expanding foam, and then I'm going to fit that ledge in place.
So yeah, using the good old foam gun with some nice quality Screwfix non-expanding expanded foam. I thought I'd have a lie down. Feels quite nice having it lie down there. I think it's the right height. Obviously you'd be underwater doing that, so it's more designed for sitting on, not lying down. Here I'm just drilling the holes. I'm drilling the base to put in the vertical steels, and secondly I'm just tying in some horizontal steel to those verticals as well, just to make it nice and strong. And I also pushed the horizontal steel through the ICF, so it's actually going into the and tied up to the vertical steels that are in the walls, so the ledge and the walls will be nicely braced together. I had to change the bracing a little bit for the end, so that end wall could be nicely supported, and then I was able to start just brace that ledge with 3 little 45 pieces, again with those small blocks fitted to the floor. I don't know if this is necessary, but it's only going to be me on concrete pour day, and I don't want any surprises with the ICF moving about. But at this point I can then start adding the rest of the 45 or angled braces for the rest of the lengths of each of the long walls, and then just figure out how to add those same sort of braces to the last 3 vertical braces that are on the end wall, and that marks the end of all of that vertical bracing.
Okay, so thought I'd do a quick couple of minutes on where we are so far. So got to a nice little stage where the bracing is now all in. So these walls are solid, they're not going anywhere. The chap that sells the blocks has come out to do an inspection just to make sure that I've done the bracing correctly. So got a big bit of batten fixed to the floor, and then all these angled pieces bracing the walls. So yeah, hopefully that's all good. The bracing would have been done much quicker, because my initial plan was to just do the bracing and then do the ledge and the steps afterwards. But I had some of this Nudura stuff left over, so I decided to use it. A course and a half with a little bit of shuttering at the top that I haven't done yet, to pour the ledge and the walls at the same time.
Just realised I told you the same thing about 3 times with that ledge. Sorry about that. Right, so this is a cave-in that happened a bit afterwards. 2 wheelbarrow loads full, and yeah, if you want to see more of that, do the old like and subscribe. Right, next up, I did need to trim the top 50mm of ICF off the top to get my levels correct. And I'm going to re-shutter this 50mm with plywood, so the height will be the same as what you see here, but the top will be a solid little slab of concrete. So yeah, 50mm is coming off the top of both inner and outer leaves of the ICF. I'll explain the levels a bit later.
So I've just had the chap from the ICF place come out and said that the bracing's all good. Next up, I just need to add the shuttering. In order to do that, I need to add a couple more verticals on the inside leaf of the ICF. I've already put the verticals on the outside leaf of the ICF, and then I can run string lines at my finished height of the concrete. It's going to come just a bit higher, my shuttered concrete, and then I can put the plywood on the inside and outside leaf, and then we can pour the concrete. Right, so this is 2 laser levels that I have set up and have made the same height, and I've shone them against the back of the house, and you can't quite see, but the bottom of the DPC where the top of the patio is going to be is my finished floor height. And you can see that these lines, I'm using 2 levels just to make sure, you can see these lines are pretty much in the same place, and I've marked these timbers that are standing up on the corner, on the inner leaf and the outer leaf, all the way around the pool. Marked them, and what I've done is I've marked the finished floor height, which is there, and then I've come down by 35 millimeters, which is going to be where the top of the concrete's going to be. So the concrete's going to fill these walls, and then it's going to come up, because I'm going to shutter this, it's going to come up to this line, so that's going to be the top of the concrete, and then my coping on the pool will be about 20 to 30 mil with a bit of mortar, and we'll be in that space there. So the top of the pool will be very roughly in line with the back of the house, and then I'll do some slopes on the patio and the coping so that it all lines up nicely. So yeah, next up is to put some strings all the way around the pool, and yeah, add that plywood. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for now for this video. I haven't quite finished all of the shuttering around the top, but I've done the shuttering right there around the outside. That's this piece of ply here with the string lines, and I've done about half of the shuttering on the inside. Hopefully going to finish the rest of that tomorrow, and then I can get the concrete in. But yeah, we're going to leave it there for this video. Doing most of this at night now, and things are just taking a bit longer, but hopefully I'll have concrete coming this Friday to fill up the walls, and I can remove all this bracing and the shuttering. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.